Hi. This looks like a river, but apparently it's a lake in Nova Scotia. A friend of mine, his wife is Canadian from this part of the world, and they've just come back from a 3-week holiday, Keith and Betty. And this is one of the photographs he's so far filleted out for me. It's, to all intents and purposes, on the face of it, it looks a bit nondescript. So we've got to make it into a painting, and we've got to add a sky to it and some movement in the water, and separate these planes of trees here and go off into the distance, because all these colours are the same. They're smaller, but they're the same colour, but we could alter that. I don't think I'll put that in. I'll certainly put some of that in, or maybe a bit over this side, but I'll leave that out unless I put it in. Right, okay, I'll move that up to where I can see it out of the way, and I'll only do a version of it. I'll just zoom out a bit. Sometimes I forget to do this. I had a good bit of fortune with uploading. I was talking to Alan Owen on the phone. I know many of you are subscribers to his lovely channel, and Steve Cronin. He uses a program called Handbrake for compressing the files. So I'm recording all this on a Canon camcorder, and the files are quite heavy. 6, 7, 8, and even 900 megabytes. I think that's what it is. And the Handbrake, in about 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, will compress it into something much more manageable. And the great thing for me is that when I started this project early last year, I've got a couple of hard drive recorders, and they would play the videos, which were Windows Movie Maker, Video Maker, something like that. It's the Windows program for doing all this. But when I went to and that's because I used a little £5 webcam, which works fine. But when I got the camcorder, courtesy of my daughter, it recorded in MOD files with all this huge memory, because it's much more detailed, widescreen. And although I'm going to wet the paper, although I use it in long play, because it would be ferocious, it would take a huge amount of time to upload to YouTube, especially with the internet that I've got, which has it's got less than 1 megabyte upload, or whatever it is. It's probably about 0.8, 0.86 on a good day. So it's very handy for that, and also because it's compressed the file from MOD to MP4, I can play them either from my external hard drives, which I keep all my videos on, or put them on a memory stick in the MP4 format, and they play beautifully. I'm quite impressed. I think, having looked at one of my recent paintings, I think I'll even take a watercolour painting, because I made it look so good. I'm sort of, well, we create idols, don't we, and then we worship them, we bow down and worship them. Shouldn't do it really, but hey, that was a good painting. There's the one with the bridging, which I based on a John Darlison demonstration. But for those that have seen it and think the figures on the bridge are just a little bit too small and out of scale, I did change them. I have corrected that. Right, I'm going to paint that river, or that lakeside scene, so let's put in a sky. But before we do, we need, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on what side of the fence you are, I've squeezed out some nice fresh colour. I meant to do it yesterday, but I forgot. So it hasn't hardened into a cake. So just put all that in where the water's going to go. And we'll have well, it looks like a grey day, so we would do a bit of a grey day. So my ultramarine is a bit sloppy. Whoops. So I'm really pleased that I can watch myself, really just to see how I can improve. But we'll just have a little bit of, or a bit more blue than that. down there. Now most of these lakes and rivers I've been painting, lake districts, etc., I've given them a reflective surface, but really they're mostly wind. Oh, got some burnt umber in there. Oh, well done. Sorry, I'll have to clean it out. I've touched it with my recalcitrant hake. Things were a bit of a mess because I just cleaned that. I was ordered to clean the windows before I got to painting, so I had to climb on my workbench to get to the Velux window above my right shoulder. Need a lot of rag for this. Right, I'm going to clean that umber off. I don't want that in the sky yet. Actually, umber and ultramarine are a good cloud colour, but I'm into the light red, which is a much lighter red than the burnt umber, which is a very, very deep red. Right, I'm just mixing this on the palette here. Or it might have been better using my large palette. This is for the sky, the clouds. It's too red. Alright, that's it. Right, not too much of this cloud because we're going to. What will we click again? I'm going to put the trees up into that area. Right, get it nice and flat. That's good and flat. I'll just take off a bit of that moisture from the bottom of here. And just put a bit of that reflection back in here. Smaller clouds as you go down to the horizon, and maybe a little bit of bluer stuff here. Right, okay, keep that centre a bit light. Right, that's drying nicely. We'll put in some. No, we won't, we'll dry it off. Right, hold your ears, or take your earphones off. Oops. I don't want to completely dry the background, but I want some of this nice background colour. So there's quite a few pines in here. So we'll come across here. Could do that with the inch brush. In fact, I think I will. That might be a better brush to do this. And we've got some lighter coloured trees in there, but this is the background. So we just put those in and get some of this. Yeah, just dab it on. Give an impression of fir trees. Right, let's put in a bit of a lighter yellowy blue in here. And we'll put some darker trees in there. So blue, red, yellow. A bit more blue in the background there, coming across here, but not pines. I'm going to put some yellow ochre in there, brush yellow. And then we've got this bank across there, so that's nice bank across there. So now that's good of that background. We've got the beaches in on that river bank, so let's put in some harder stuff. Right. There's some darker. I'm using sienna. I'm not leaving myself a huge amount of working room on this, with the paint being fresh out of the tube. I'll just get that in the background there. I've got to clean that beach up a bit. Right, now here we need the darker stuff, but to leave a bit of a margin maybe. So we've got a lot of this sienna blue in there, I think, just to make it a bit darker. The hake, you see, Furiation hake is split. It's a love-hate thing at the moment. Right, get some sienna in there. And we've got all this coming across here, all these little, the bank coming across. So darker, bit of blue, bit of red. Okay, so getting some of the raw sienna. There's another bank coming up here, above that. So we can put it in quite strong. So I don't mind taking a little bit of time now because I can compress the files. Bring that all the way across, warm it up as we do so. We've also got a bank behind that, so we'll put that in, but lightly, so some of it might or might not show through. Right, now let's just get in some dark bank again. Okay, let's go in with these. I'll give that a dry because I don't want it all to merge. Hold the headphones off. We all love a bit of water, don't we? Let's give myself a bit of leg room here. Oh, I've got paint on my trousers. What's new? Just wipe it. Luckily it's watercolour, not acrylic. Look, I've got paint there, on there, and that's going into my fingers. I'll have to wash my rag out. I'll throw that one. Go back to the beer mat. That's nice and dry now. Okay, right, hey, fairly clean. Bit of water. I'll just clean my palette a bit because it's getting a bit murky. I'll leave that because that's nice there. That's handy. We can probably use that nice mix. Bit more. Get through more toilet rolls doing this than anything else, if you know what I mean. Oh. Did you have those days where it doesn't quite go right? It had all the best intentions. Right, let's go back and do some nice greens now. So a bit of raw burnt sienna, bit of blue. So quite solid. Right. And we have got some pines in here. Use this other brush. Let's get some of these pines in the back here. Now we want some yellow, some raw sienna. Yeah. Green, just to ring the changes here. Now we'll get some darker mix here now. There's like a poplar type of tree there. Right, I've got some darks in here, so let's just. So let's put in a few flicks. Now I want some nice greens now, so blue, yellow, bit of sienna. Some warmer, scumbled over. Now the darkest I can get now is this piece of bit burnt umber now. Now I want it. Touch of water in it. So, because we've got some really dark shadow areas in all these trees here on this bank. Some in this one, here, some in here. And then just around that negative space around some of the lighter areas. Right, get that in there. Let's separate that bit at the end of this bank here. Let's just put a bit of dark on there. So that's coming down there. So that separates itself from the bit behind. Right, okay. Right. I've got that going uphill there. I don't like that, so I'm going to have to change that. It's quite a warm beach, so put a bit of a edge up there. It's a bit better. That around there. Right. That's going to be dry brushed, I think. So let's have a rehearsal. There's a bit lumpy there, so I don't know if I can pull that tight. Mainly because it's on another painting, so it's sort of a little bit slightly croggled from the one behind. But anyway, I'm going to put my flowers on there. Right, I'll clean the palette and I'll work out a nice bit of dark colour for a bit of dry brush reflection to show the reflection and the ripples if I can. Oh, I'm getting hungry. I'm always hungry. Just keeping it a bit clean. Right, now this is got a bit of dry brush, so that background colour is going to be a bit of burnt umber. Warm it up with a bit of that, and a bit of that. We want it fairly dark, but we want it fairly dry as well. So I'll just take some of that off my brush. It's a mixture of all colours really. Right, so there we go. And that doing like that, just filling in some of the bits, gives an impression of. I'll go over that again with some darker stuff now. We've got the ripples sort of coming down. Right, that'll do for that. I might go over the whole lot of the very pale blue, but I need to dry that off, so headphones off. I'm thinking I've got quite a bit of sky, so I might put in something up here. Right, I want some burnt umber in there. The blue. So we've got these darker bits in here. All that close to the bank there. Okay, that will almost do. Right, okay, so that'll do for that. Now, I want to do some stipple now. So I'm going to dry off my brush. Oh, I'll put some water on the palette. Get some, right, and let's just dry that off a lot. Smash it up. And it'll all come back together again. So we've got some nice yellow. The sienna. Raw sienna, right, let's get some raw burnt sienna in there as well, because there is some nice autumny colours coming in there, and we'll have some dark green, a bit up here. So with a bit of blue, the mixture greens on the palette. Add a bit of sienna to that. That'll give it a more realistic tone. So look. Now I want a bit of red in there, or sienna. A bit of blue. With some darks in the shadow. Right, okay, that seems to be okay. So we'll put in some leaves up here, just coming across. It's a bit dark green because it'll be shadow. I wasn't going to put anything up here, was I? Keep some sky and then some nice depth. Red, a bit of sienna, a bit of ultra. just thicken that up there, make it a bit more dense, and then okay, we'll bring some heavier stuff down over the, see how you change your mind as you go along. Right, this is all really dark shadows down here. Just some catching some light. By the time I put in some branches, right, all hitting this. Now, rigger. Not a lot of this is going to show, so burnt umber, bit of blue, bit of water on the rigger so it flows, and got some of that. Oh, just a right, I don't know what that's going to look like. Right, we've got to just unify that water now. I'm just going to dry it off now. Take your headphones off. Right, I'll clean my palette. I used to, well, one of the demonstrators at Carshalton Wellington Art Club, where I was a member for years, was Ken Burtonshaw. And he had a lovely way of painting, demonstrating watercolours. And in the end, I haven't done this on any of my demos, but I'll have a go. We've got a lot of white here, but it should be a colour, and it isn't. It's slightly raw sienna-ish, but he would go over the whole painting with a wash of raw sienna. So here we go, look, I'll mix the wash up, keep it nice, and he would go over the whole lot of wash. Try not to disturb your paint underneath by scrubbing too much. Rid of all that white. Right, that's all you used to do. And it sort of gave a unity. I missed a little bit there, but I can't go over it. I'll dry it. It gave a unity to the whole picture. Now I'm just going to have to go back over that, which I didn't want to do, with some stipple because I've moved it a little bit, and it's close to us, so that's where I really need the detail. Just put just a few on here. Some of those back in there. Oh, that's gone back there, that's quite nice actually. Right, now there's one thing that I noticed on that bank. There are a couple of markers, and I don't know whether they come up from there, so we'll put them in. It's not a boat, it's just something. Right, I don't know what that is. It's a little bit thick, but anyway, I'll put it in a mount and we can have a look at it, see how bad it is or whatever. There's my photograph. So I think I've made something of all those complicated greens. I've completely changed them into something else. Added a lot of blue in the distance to give a distance. Do we want blue? Is the blue colour okay? I've finished cleaning the windows now. I just need just a little bit more reinstatement. Okay. Do they have birds in Nova Scotia? Yeah, of course they do. Well, there we are. Right, I'll just clean the brush. Well, there we are. That's interesting. Right, let's go round. Let's go from there. That a few pines in the background, coming round that bank. It's probably be a large island. I don't know. I'll have to email this to my friend. So, well, this is what you sent me, and I said it wouldn't bear any relation to what is actually there. I think the reflections in the lake are quite reasonable. Probably gone a bit far out there, but that's catching those there. But anyway, that's the best I can do with this at the moment. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye bye.